We're going to go ahead and get started in a very comfortable position. So whatever that means to you, sit down, relax, close your eyes, and we'll go ahead and get started. And as you close your eyes today, I want you to picture a tiny little tornado inside your big toe, swirling, moving, shifting your energy. And as that little ball of twirling energy grows, moving up through your legs, inside the chest, moving around inside your body, swelling, start to bring awareness to your breath. See if you can extend the inhale and the exhale. Slowly and purposefully adding a pause in between the inhale and the exhale. Shifting your energy and moving it in a more positive direction today. Let's go ahead and inhale the arms over the head, palms touch, and exhale, thumbs into the heart center. Inhale, arms rise, and exhale, meeting at the heart. One more, inhale, arms rise, and exhale, thumbs down into the heart center. Here we go, inhale, arms rise, palms touch, and exhale, right hand outside the left knee, left hand reaches back behind you, and opens up into a seated twist. Take a moment here in the seated twist, take another big inhale, and then exhale, drop your left ear down to your left shoulder and roll your chin across your chest. As you circle through the neck, slow and controlled, one more big inhale as we reverse in the opposite direction. Let's go ahead and switch sides. This time our left hand outside of our right knee. Right hand reaches back behind you. And we'll drop our right ear over to our right shoulder. As we start to circle through the neck, notice any tension. Perhaps you'll adjust your twist as you walk your hand a little closer to your hips and lift through the chest for this second pass. Let's reverse in the opposite direction. Breathe, coming back in towards center. Left hand down for the floor. Right arm reaches up and over. As you walk your left palm away, bend your elbow and lean into the side body stretch a little deeper. Coming back towards center, let's go to the opposite side. Right hand comes down for the floor. Left arm comes up and over as we walk ourselves into a deeper side bend. We'll come back towards center, hands down for the floor, coming to tabletop. Let's turn our fingers back towards our knees and start to rock into the wrists, squeezing the mat with your fingertips. Noticing any sensations that come up for you. If you feel good, maybe you'll step your legs back into a high plank. If it feels good, rock into the toes. A little more energy. Bringing your knees back down for the floor, leaning forward and slowly peeling your wrists one at a time. Give those a little circle, sit back on your heels. Circling the wrists, reversing in the opposite direction. This time we'll come down for the floor and our fingers will face out to the sides. And we'll just rock back and forth. From side to side. And again, if this feels good and you've got the range of motion, why not step back into a high plank? And notice how that shifts the energy as you rock from side to side. Dropping your knees back down to the floor. Sitting up tall, palms come together, and let's go ahead and roll the wrists around. Finding range of motion as the tops of the hand roll across each other. Reverse in the opposite direction. And shake that out. Palms come down for the floor. Tabletop, let's go ahead and float that tabletop and bring your knees 2 inches off the floor. Pressing your energy into the floor, rounding through the upper back. Spreading your shoulder blades to the outside corners. Drawing your navel in towards the spine. Take one more breath, big inhale. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. It's our first dog of the practice. Bending into the right knee, straightening the left, bending into the left knee and straightening the right. Shifting your energy from side to side. What feels good today? Come forward on the inhale, high plank. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog, ground the heels. Inhale, moving to the breath. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward, high plank. And exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. Let's walk our palms all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold and touch the floor. Grabbing for opposite elbows, ragdoll, let yourself sway from side to side. Feeling any sensations up the back of the legs, through the elbows, through the shoulders. Fingertips touch the floor as you roll yourself up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Energy rises, palms touch. Exhale, thumbs in the heart center. As you step your feet a little wider than hips distance, inhale, arms rise. Left palm turns towards the sky as you grab it with the right and kick your left hip off the side of the mat. Lean into that side body stretch. Breathe, big inhale, and exhale, lean in a little deeper. As you inhale back towards center, right palm turns towards the sky, grab it with the left, and we'll kick that right hip off the side of the mat as you reach your energy towards the left. Inhale back towards center. Let's take the bind behind the back, interlace the fingers. Exhale, forward fold, arms come up and over. As you bend deeply into the left knee, straighten the right. Arms reach off the left side of the mat. Bend deeply into the right knee, straighten the left. Arms reach off the right side of the mat. Shifting your weight from side to side. Where are you holding any tension today? Lean into that space. Find opportunity to open the body. One more breath. Exhale, release the bind, touch the floor with your fingertips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your palms all the way out. Knees or no knees, push-ups for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Push back, downward facing dog. High onto the toes, lift the heels, and let's tiptoe all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift when you get there. Flat back, shoulders back, chest out. Pause here, and now shift all the weight into the toes, and so your hips are over your heels. Strong core doesn't let you fall forward. Exhale, touch the floor. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back up. Lean back. Open up the palms, open up the chest. Exhale, swan dive forward and touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back. High plank to low plank. Push forward into the toes. Inhale forward and through to the tops of the feet. Pausing in your up dog as you shift the weight onto the tops of the feet. Everybody look over your right shoulder and peel open. Everybody look over your left shoulder. Flip your toes and press back. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts into the air behind you. Big toes at 6 o'clock. Bend the knee and stack the hip and see if you can kick yourself in the butt. Give it a couple kicks. Roll your ankle a little bit, and now roll the hip. Big hip circle, big hip circle. All the way around and down and out to the side. As you reverse in the opposite direction, bend the knee and stack the hip. Roll the hip open. Tiger pose, knee comes between the elbows. Shift the weight into the fingertips. Tuck your chin and lift your hips higher. Inhale, open, extend and stack the leg. Tiger pose, knee comes between the elbows. Curl in, inhale, open, extend and stack the leg. Exhale, tiger pose. This time we'll step it through gently between the thumbs. Grab your balance, left palm into the floor, right arm reaches towards the sky. Big shoulder circle as you sweep around and down. Follow your thumb with your eyes. See if you can open up the chest a little wider as you reverse in the opposite direction. Right palm comes down for the floor, framing the foot. Grab your balance, take a couple rocks in your runner's lunge, and gracefully rise into your crescent lunge. Hands to your hips. It's our first time in a standing posture. We want to find a neutral pelvis and a balanced hip. So if you need to heel toe over the front foot, take a wider stance. Go ahead and do that. And maybe you can bring your left palm to the small of your back, and we'll just roll the pelvis around. See if you can just move just the pelvis, noticing the muscles involved. Can you reverse in the opposite direction and settle into balance and even? When you find it, reach for the sky, lift your energy, inhale, exhale, thumbs in the heart center, inhale, left knee bends 2 inches above the mat, exhale, lift and squeeze, Find the muscle inside the glute that squeezes at the top and allows you the freedom to just work out that left leg. Moving your energy to the breath, connecting mind and body, being present in this moment. Here we go for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to the floor. Right foot steps back, knees or no knees, push-ups for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Push back, downward facing dog. What feels good in your dog? Maybe you bring that right shoulder a little closer towards the floor. Perhaps you'll bring that left shoulder a little closer towards the floor. Left leg lifts on the inhale. Bending the knee and stacking the hip. See if you can kick yourself in the butt. Bend that knee, open up through that side body. Roll your ankle around. Give it a little snap, crackle, pop as you reverse in the opposite direction. And now let's open up that hip. Big circle, big circle. Reversing in the opposite direction. Everybody bend the knee and stack the hip. Roll that hip open. Tiger pose. Knee comes between the elbows. Tuck your chin and lift your hips higher. Your energy is pushing it into the floor. Inhale, open, extend, and stack the leg. Tiger pose. Knee comes between the elbows. Tuck your chin, lift the hips. Inhale, open, extend, and stack the leg. Tiger pose as we gently step the foot between the thumbs. Right palm into the floor. Left arm reaches for the sky. As we open up that shoulder, rolling it around, synovial fluid in that joint as we prepare the body, reversing in the opposite direction. Left palm comes down for the floor. Grab your balance, so when you're ready, gracefully rise into your standing posture. It's first time on the left side. Let's get the hips. Adjust your foot position. Think about that back leg. Power, energy, and stability come from the back foot. Heel over toes. Maybe you'll bring that right palm to the small of the back and just roll that pelvis around. Finding any micro adjustments inside the hips, inside the pelvis. When you bring yourself back to neutral, inhale the energy towards the sky, fingertips turn in, thumbs in the heart center on the exhale. Inhale, right knee bends 2 inches above the mat. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Dropping it low, lots of energy. We're just working out that right leg. Left knee stays stacked over the ankle to the breath. Breathe. Here we go for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, energy rises. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left foot steps back. Knees or no knees, push-ups for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Push back, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and walk our palms to the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and touch the floor. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, arms rise. Lean back. Open up the chest. Swan dive forward and touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk the palms out. High plank to low plank. Forward and through on the inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. High up onto the toes. Let's tiptoe to the top of the mat. Feel your hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold and touch the floor. Inhale, arms rise, lean back, look at your thumbs, open up the chest. Swan dive forward and touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step your feet back, high plank to low plank. Exhale. Forward and through to the tops of the feet. Roll those shoulders back. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts on the inhale, bend the knees, stack the hip. Right knee, right elbow. Come forward and touch. Inhale, open, extend, and stack the leg. Tiger pose, knee comes between the elbows, round through the upper back. Lift the hips. Inhale, open, extend, and stack the leg. Right knee, left elbow, cross the body, touch it, squeeze. Inhale, open, extend, and stack the leg. Tiger pose. Step the foot through. Grab your balance. Inhale, rise. You know right where to step to get into that balanced posture. Breathe. Let's go ahead and reach behind the back. Fingertips, wrists, elbows. What do you have? Shoulders back, chest out, and we'll lean into a 45-degree line. 45-degree line all the way from the back foot. Breathe. Finding pause. What's coming up for you in this moment? Sink into that right knee. Don't let it move past the ankle. One more breath. And let's release the bind, biceps next to the ears. For this final breath. Left palm comes down for the earth. Right arm reaches to the sky as you roll to the outside edge of that left foot. Yes? Yes? And maybe you can walk your foot to the middle of the mat if you like. And perhaps you'll step the foot all the way back. Vashisthasana. Take some energy into that top leg and lift it into the air just for a second. Breathe. High plank to low plank. Forward and through. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths in your dog. What do you need? What feels good? Breathe. Bring attention to the breath. Long, slow inhales and exhales. And on your next inhale, lift your left leg into the air. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Roll the hip open. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale, open, extend, and stack the leg. Tiger pose. Knee comes between the elbows. Inhale, open, extend, and stack. Left knee, right elbow. Cross the body. Touch it. Inhale, open, extend, and stack the leg. Tiger pose. Knee comes between the elbows. As you step the foot between the thumbs, grab your balance, gracefully rise into your crescent lunge. What bind will you take on this side? Opposite hand on top. And we'll start to lean our energy into that long 45-degree line. Lots of energy in the back leg. Power, stability, and the posture come from the back foot. We want to make sure the heel is over the toes. Breathe. One more breath. Before we bring the biceps next to the ears, pinkies turn in. Right palm comes down for the earth as the left arm lifts on the inhale. We'll slowly start to walk that left foot to the outside edge or to the center of the mat. Decide if you want a little bit more. Maybe you'll step the foot all the way to the back of the mat. And then send some energy into that top leg and lift into the air. Squeeze, breathe. Beautiful breath. One more breath. High plank to low plank. Exhale. Forward and through. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths in your dog. Can you push into the palms and press the hips away, grounding the heels and sinking your chest a little closer to the mat? Let's go ahead and walk our palms all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, touch the floor. Inhale, arms rise, palms touch. Bend your knees and sweep your fingertips across the floor. Sit back into a wide-legged chair pose, lightning bolt, fierce pose, whatever you want to call it. Shift your knees back into the heels and let the toes just lift the earth from the earth for a moment. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, swan dive forward and touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your palms all the way out to the top of the mat. High plank to low plank, exhale. Forward and through on the inhale. Roll your shoulders back, exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Step, hop, jump yourself to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold and touch the floor. Inhale, arms rise. Reach. Open up the chest. Swan dive forward and touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Palms to the earth, feet step back. High plank, low plank. Any transition that you want to get yourself to downward facing dog. That might mean press to handstand, shoot it back, kick it back. It's up to you. This is your practice. You customize it. Right leg lifts, bend the knee, stack the hip. Step the foot all the way between the thumbs. Inhale, arms rise. And this time we'll take the bind, interlace the fingers behind the back, squeeze the palms. Modified humble warrior. Let's put our right shoulder on top of the right knee. Arms come up and over. Everything's in the center line. Can you roll your left shoulder a little closer towards the earth and bring yourself into the center and lift? Yeah, that's it, Rhea. Beautiful. One more breath. One more breath here, and then we'll inhale, rise, biceps next to the ears, thumbs in the heart center. Let's shift our weight into that big toe until our left leg lifts into the air behind us. Warrior 3. Open up the palms, make yourself real big. Breathe. Let's come all the way to standing and bring that left knee with you. Hug it into the chest. Shoulders back, chest out. And just lean into. Breathe. Biceps next to the ears. Extend the left leg out in front of you. Squeeze at the core and lift the heel a little bit higher. And then bend through the knee and fly to warrior 3. Open up real big on the inhale. Exhale, step that left foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, left palm for the floor. Vashisthasana. Take your time, roll to the outside edge. Step the foot back when you're ready. Lift the top leg. You can stay here or bend the knee and flip your dog. There you go. Yes. A little bit of a back bend. Exhale. Right hand comes down for the floor. High plank to low plank. Forward and through to the tops of the feet. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Let's do that left side. Left leg lifts on the inhale. Bending the knee and stacking the hip. Step the foot between the thumbs on the exhale. Inhale, arms rise. Taking the bind behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Squeeze the palms. Left shoulder, left knee. Keep yourself in the center line as the arms come up and over. Opposite thumb on top if you've got your thumbs crossed. And we'll just notice what comes up for you as we find a little mobility through the shoulders, lots of energy in that back leg. One more breath. Inhale. Back towards center, palms reach for the sky. Exhale, thumbs in the heart center, and we'll slowly start to shift the weight into that left big toe and lean forward until you just naturally lift that right leg behind you. There's no rush. Open up, make yourself real big so you have lots of balance. And then we'll slowly start to rise up into our standing posture. Grab that right knee. Lean back, take some of the pressure off of the balance and in the core. And now, once you've got yourself steady, biceps next to the ears, right leg extends on the inhale, exhale, bending the right knee and flying back towards your warrior three. Pausing in your warrior three to take a big inhale, exhale, right foot steps to the back of the mat. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, right palm into the earth. Left arm reaches for the sky as you roll to the outside edge of that right foot. Left foot can stay in the center of the mat or step all the way back into your Vashisthasana. Lifting some energy into that leg, perhaps. Bending into the left knee. Flipping your dog if that's a part of your practice. Pressing the hips towards the sky, reaching up over the head. Big inhale. Exhale. Left hand comes down for the earth. High plank to low plank. Exhale. Forward and through to the tops of the feet. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Walking your palms all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold and touch the floor. Inhale, arms rise. Lean back. Bend your knees. Sweep your fingertips across the floor. Let's sit back into that chair pose, that wide-legged chair. Bringing our thumbs into the heart center. Let's go ahead and take some squats, all right? Knees stay stacked over the ankles. Inhale down. Exhale, rise. Breathe. How low can you go? Sitting those hips back. You just need to go as low as the knees. We don't need to go any deeper. Take a couple more. Here we go for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Squat it back. Inhale. Swan dive forward and touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, walk your palms all the way to the top of the mat. High plank to low plank. Moving through your vinyasa and finding your way to your downward facing dog. Right foot steps outside the right hand and left foot steps outside the left hand. Yogi squat. Take a couple rocks into the hips and see how that shows up for you today. Feet are flat on the floor. What's coming up for you? I see a little wrist roll from Maria. Like, this is a moment to check in with yourself and see what you need. If you need a little more, hands to the floor, crow pose, shifting the weight into the fingertips. Walk your hands away from you a little bit so that you can bring your hips high into the air and then start to shift forward. Middle fingers are forward, Rev. Yeah. There you go. Start to shift the weight into, so your elbows are stacked. Come forward, lift your heels high into the air. Yeah, there you go. And then lean forward until one foot comes off the mat. And then lean a little more forward to the other. Yes, that's how it starts. Boom. Nice. Back into the squat when you're ready for a reprieve. Let's catch our breath. All that pressure we put on ourselves. We just want to take a moment to relax. And when you're ready, setting up for a second set. Remember, higher the hips. Huh? Take a wider. There you go. Now hands to the floor, fingers spread wide. And come forward. There you go. And up onto the heels, onto the toes. Yes. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. Beautiful. That's it. Shake it off. Back in your squat. Nice, Sam. And let's take a palate cleanser. Vinyasa when you're ready. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Step hop, jump yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold and touch the floor. Inhale, arms rise, lean back, look at your thumbs. Into the heart center and close the pose. Here we go. Inhale, arms rise, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward and touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step your feet back. Any variation that you like on vinyasa, make your way. All we ask is that you move to the breath and take your time. Right leg lifts into the air behind you. Bend the knee and stack the hip. This time we're going to take a little wider step to the outside corner, and we're going to roll the back foot down, warrior one. Warrior one. Take a little wider step than you would normally have been doing. Back foot spins down to the earth. In warrior one. It's all right. Humble warrior, taking the bind. This time we will interlace fingers like palm. Humble warrior. Right shoulder comes inside the right knee. Arms come up and over. We're diving down. We're bringing the crown of the head as close to the floor as possible while keeping yourself in the center line. Breathe. One more breath. Is there anything that you can do to bring yourself into that center line? Shift the hips in. Sink into that front knee a little deeper. One more breath. Inhale. Warrior one. Exhale. Thumbs in the heart center. Warrior two. Warrior two this time. Back foot spins. Front foot. Heel toes over to the center of the back foot. You're on the outside edge of that back foot. That requires you to pick up on your inner thigh and sink into that front knee. Go ahead and walk that front foot a little further out so that you can sink into the intention for the pose, which is to be at 90 degrees. Breathe, big inhale. Inhale, straighten that front leg, palms reach for the sky, and exhale, sink into that front knee. Warrior two, inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink in. One more, inhale, and exhale. This time we're gonna inhale, straighten that front leg, and cock the left hip out as we reach for the front of the mat and open up into our triangle. Finding a line of energy on the inhale from wrist to wrist. There's two sensations going on inside the body. One is behind the right leg and the hamstring, and the other is across the top hip. Do you feel them? Is there any minor adjustments? One more breath. Inhale all the way back, reverse triangle, stretch. And then we'll bend into that front knee, shifting the weight. As we set up for half moon, fingertips come down for the floor or breathe. Maybe you need the support of the floor. Maybe you don't even need to touch it. Maybe just balancing into that right big toe. Any variations that you like. Do you want to bend the back knee, catch the foot? Shavasana. Finding a moment here. Let's step that. Release the foot if you have it. Step it all the way to the back of the mat. Reverse triangle. Straighten that front leg. Spin on the heels. Parsarita. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down for the floor. Find flat back first. And then walk the palms back behind you and draw the crown of the head towards the floor. If tripod headstand's a part of your practice and you'd like to go there, feel free. If you're in the forward fold and you walk the crown of the head closer towards the floor, reach out for the outside edges of the ankles and give yourself a bit of a tug. Nice, William. Those of you that have gone upside down in your tripod headstand, slowly making your way back down into the mat. Find flat back, and let's take a twist while we're here. Right palm into the earth, fingers face towards the back of the mat. As you roll that left hand, bring your left palm to the center of the small of your back. Can you sense if your left hip is higher than the right hip? Can you shift your pelvis? Shift that right hip a little higher, Amanda. There you go. There it is. Now open up that chest and that twist. And let's switch sides. Left palm comes down for the earth. Right arm reaches. Right palm can come to the center of the back, the center of the small of the back. And then we'll notice if your left hip's higher than your right hip, Amanda, then you'll roll that left hip down. You'll find neutral. That looks good, Rhea. That looks good, Sam. And now reach up for the twist. Let's go ahead. Right palm comes back down for the earth. Deep bend into that right knee. Pause in your spider pose. And then we'll go ahead and switch over to the other side. Deep bend into the left knee. Right foot stays grounded. And now side to side. How low can you keep the hips as you shift from side to side? Yeah, that's it, Sam. Beautiful. Here we go. Next time you're at the front of the mat, spin on the heels. Right palm into the earth. Left arm lifts into the air. I'm sorry, left palm into the earth, right arm lifts. See, this is what helps have people in front of you. Roll to the outside edge. We're headed towards Vashisthasana. Take a moment. If you need support from the floor, keep that left foot on the ground. If you want to lift it into the air, if you want to take that back bend, any variation that you like, go ahead, hit it, and then high plank to low plank. Moving through and up. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts on the inhale, bending the knee, stacking the hip. Let's take a wider step than normal out to the side so that when we spin the back foot down, we'll rise with grace into our warrior one and the hips will stay in neutral, right? On the outside edge of the back foot, so the pinky toe side of the foot is pressing into the floor. Yeah, there you go. It requires you to pick up on that inner thigh. Let's take the bind, opposite thumb on top. Squeeze the palms together, diving down inside. Crown of the head comes down for the floor, humble warrior. Breathe. Crown of the head is coming down for the floor. You're inside that left knee. The left shoulder might even be pressing on the left knee to keep it stacked over the ankle. One more breath. Squeeze the palms and see if you can lift your hands a little bit higher. Breathe. Inhale. Rise. Warrior one. Exhale. Thumbs in the heart center. Back foot is already spun. Open up. Warrior two. Maybe open up that back foot a little bit. You still want it to be pigeon-toed a little bit. So turn that back big toe in. Just slightly. Breathe.
Someone called said that you guys were using a PA to do the class or something. They were calling us noise complaint.
Okay.
Were you using it? I mean, you're talking right now. But...
I'm talking loud. I mean, I'm using the...
Okay. If it's okay with you, if you might just turn down music just a little bit. I tried calling the person who complained. Of course, they didn't answer, so I couldn't get more details. Cool. Thanks for your help.
I mean, this is as loud as it's been the whole time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day. Sorry to interrupt you.
Let's go ahead. Yeah. Straighten the front leg, arms rise. I'm like, where am I? Inhale, straighten that front leg, palms rise. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, straighten that front leg. And exhale, sink in. Let's go ahead and straighten that front leg and cock that right hip back as we prepare for triangle pose. Opening up the palms, that line of energy. Can we lean into that dual sensation, that left hamstring? Shifting the hip back, rolling that hip open. One more breath. Inhale all the way back, reverse triangle. Stretch, open, up that side body. Spinning on the left heel. Tarsarita. Forward fold. Finding flat back first. And then exhale. Walking the crown of the head down towards the earth. Bringing your fingertips back behind you. Breathe. Reaching for the outside edges of the ankles. Give yourself a tug. See if you can pull in a little deeper. And then we'll inhale, finding flat back. This time, left hand outside the right ankle. Left hand outside the right ankle. Right arm reaches for the sky. You can bring that palm to the small of the back. See if you can find flat back first. And then reach for your thigh, your pant, whatever is back there. The left hand pulls the chest closer to the thigh. The right arm pulls you deeper into the twist. Breathe. Switch sides. This time the right hand outside the left ankle. You want to bring that left hand to the small of the back just to get a sense of the hips and the pelvis to be in neutral. And then we'll start to draw ourselves deeper into the twist, pulling the chest closer to the thigh. Breathe. Rhea, lift your left hip a little bit higher and sink your right hip down. There you go. Beautiful. Finding your way back towards center. Find flat back first. And then we'll deep bend into that left knee. Spider pose. This time, roll the toes towards the sky and get a little hamstring stretch. Yeah, beautiful. Breathe. Switching sides, deep bend into that right knee. Left toes lift towards the sky. Feel that sensation. How's that feel? And then we'll go side to side. How low can you keep the hips? Breathe. As you move from side to side, next time you're at the top of the mat, let's go ahead and find runner's lunge. Left palm into the earth. Right arm reaches for the sky. Roll to the outside edge of that right foot. Vashisthasana as you roll that foot back into the center of the mat. Maybe step it all the way back. What variations do you want here in that posture? Breathe. Hand comes down for the floor. And take a couple rocks. Hands come down inside in your lizard pose, shifting the weight back and forth. And then when you feel like you're in the hip, you got it, you can release the left knee down to the earth. Working your way down towards the floor. If you like, elbows can come down onto the mat. Breathe. Notice what comes up for you in this moment. Don't let the mind wander. Find a point of concentration inside the mind. Find a sensation inside the body. Maybe it's the breath. Maybe it's the slight constriction of the back of the throat that makes that vibration inside the mind's eye. Maybe it's your heartbeat. Maybe it's some sort of sensation that's coming up for you inside the hip. Breathe. Let's find our way to extended downward facing dog with that right leg lifted into the air. And then just for an inhale, and then we'll set up for pigeon. Right knee comes behind the right wrist, squaring the shin. Take your time. Square the hips. That's what's most important in this moment. Take a look at that foot behind you. Make sure it's in a straight line. No knee pain as you walk the palms out. Rest your head on something. Your hands, your fists. Breathe. Long, slow inhales and exhales. Breathe. Finding that concentration, that space to let the mind go blank. Breathe. Slowly walking your palms in, lifting the chest, sitting back on your right hip. Let's bring the left leg around, up and over, seated twist. Left foot steps outside the right knee. As you reach that right arm towards the sky, and exhale, cross that elbow in front of the knee. Left hand reaches back. A little different than our first seated twist. This one has a little more leverage. So walk your left hand a little closer to your hips, lift through the chest on the inhale, and then press onto your elbow. Exhale, squeeze. One more breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Counter twist. Walking your hands over to the other side, bending your elbows, bowing over, looking at the back of the mat, full twist, even for the neck. Look at the back of the mat, spin your hips up towards the back of the room, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts this time. Stepping your left foot outside the left hand. Taking a couple rocks, finding your, releasing the right knee when you're ready. Diving down inside, elbows come down for the mat in your lizard. Take your time. Breathe. Yeah. Notice where the mind wanders to. What do you need to bring it back to this moment, to be present in this moment? Not leaning into the future, not reliving the past, but finding space and presence here in this moment. One more breath. When you're ready, you Extended downward facing dog with that left leg lifted. Just for inhale. Inhale, and then exhale. Left knee comes behind the left wrist. Squaring the hips. Think about the hips first. Take a glance at that leg behind you. Make sure it's in a straight line. And then walk the palms out. Rest your head on something and bring yourself to stillness. This pose is like no other pose that we've done today because this one's letting gravity do the work. Your job is to relax and to mindfully breathe. Not to let your mind wander. Finding space and presence here in this moment. Breathe. One more breath. Slowly walking your palms in. Sitting back on that left hip. Right leg swings around, up and over. Seated twist. Left arm reaches for the sky as you cross that left elbow in front of the knee. Right hand reaches back behind you. A little leverage this time. So walk your hand closer. Lift through the chest on the inhale. Exhale. Twist in a little deeper. Breathe. One more breath. Counter twist. Hands come over to the other side. See the front of the mat. Walk your hands over. Downward facing dog. Jumping through to seated. Extending both legs out in front of you. Reaching towards those toes. Rocking your hips back. And folding over. Release. One more breath. Inhale, start to rise. Extending your energy towards the front of the mat. We'll slowly use the core to roll ourselves all the way back down onto the mat. When your shoulders touch, hug your knees into the chest. Reaching for the outside edges of the feet. Happy baby. Happy baby. Heels over, knees rocking from side to side. Straightening one leg and then the other. Final hamstring stretches. Reach it up for both big toes. Opening up your legs as wide as they go. Big toes draw down towards the floor. On this exhale, bending the knees into the chest, reaching around the shins, grabbing for opposite elbows, tucking your chin and squeezing every muscle of your body, your face, chest, chin, biceps, triceps, thighs, calves, fingers, toes. And release. Finding space, finding what's comfortable, relaxing, letting yourself slip into that river of life. Allowing yourself the freedom to be at peace. Breathe. Final Shavasana. Slowly beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rolling your wrists and your ankles. Take a big stretch. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, give yourself a hug. As the right arm goes over the head, we roll off to the side into the fetal position. Make a little pillow with your bicep. Stay here for a moment. Say something kind to yourself. Be proud of the work you put into living your best life. Be kind to yourself. It's not about perfection. It's about putting in the work, not making the same mistakes twice. When you're ready, coming to a comfortable seated position. Inhaling the arms over the head, palms touch. Thumbs into the heart center as we bow to each other and honor the light and the energy that we exchange here today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. And namaste. And to the person that called the cops in the middle of my class, thank you. Love and light to you as well. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Have a great day.